Back to the social universe, where you learn the secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases, the secrets of the universe itself. So to summarize what we talked about on the show so far, we began the show by talking about web marketing. We talked about making sure that your websites are mobile, optimized for mobile use, so that they show up well on the mobile use of the phones. If you notice, for example, a little bit of a sidetrack, that your Samsungs especially are starting to become very, very big, and they're making them even bigger. And it's because the internet is becoming more and more prevalently used on the cell phone. So you want to optimize your website for that. You also want to take a look at how quickly your website uploads. And so go in there. You can actually go into your Google Analytics and take a look at how quickly it loads up, and that will actually help optimize your website. In other words, that could be another 3 hours of discussion. So I'm going to leave that alone. And now we're talking about health and how you can get yourself a little bit healthy, a little bit more healthy, so that you can have some amazing pictures to put up on your social media that integrates into your website. Another thing I want to say about this is that you might think, well, you know what, I'm a highly professional person. I don't want to have people see me in shorts and a t-shirt and whatnot. In today's society, social media is very voyeur. People want to know that what Bill Gates, if he actually ever does get out on the beach, or is he always just a stuffed shirt, and they, speaking of the fashion faux pas, just because Bill Gates wears sandals and socks doesn't necessarily mean that he set the trend and that you should show up to a Windows interview with Microsoft in dressing like he does. So these are all things that you want to consider. And then the other thing is your health. So especially, and one of the things that we were talking about over the break, and again we want to welcome back Dr. Page from one of the deans of Midwestern University in the podiatric, did I say that right?
Very good.
Okay. In the podiatric division, and we were talking about how sometimes something on the exact opposite extreme of your body, your feet versus your jaw with TMJ, sometimes that can be related to your feet being out of line.
It's fascinating how interconnected the body is as a unit, and if the feet are malaligned, that contributes to discomfort or malfunction in the knees or the hips or the low back, and sometimes even in that temporomandibular joint up where the jaw connects to the head, and it often causes lots of discomfort. Some interesting work has been done about that.
Absolutely. I first I had experience with TMJ when I went to England on a mission for my church, and they had muesli, which was a Swedish cold cereal. I love muesli. I still love muesli to this day. But for some reason I can't find the amazing muesli over here that they had over there, probably because it's imported to Sweden, and I'm still looking for the American version of it, and it's just not working for me. So if anybody wants to email at ifc.kwilhelm@gmail.com and give me your favorite muesli, I'll be open to it. But nonetheless, it disconnected my job partially because I was eating too much muesli, but I think what really was happening is that there was a lot of things out of line with me as a result of, like we were talking about, my feet were going out of line. I really wonder if it was related. Because it healed itself later when I got my
stress will also play a role.
True.
In that issue. So it's important.
I did find out I was grinding my teeth later. I think that was also part of it.
Well,
a lot of TMI here. Go ahead.
Healthy lifestyles contribute in so many ways, reducing stress, which improves so many other functions in our body. And one of the parts of a healthy lifestyle is being able to be active, be on your feet. And in Arizona, we love to do things like go hiking.
Absolutely.
We enjoy the Grand Canyon and the many mountains that are found here. And it's important that you're well shod and that you've done warm-up hikes and those kinds of things to make sure that you don't get into trouble when you're on a long hike.
So definitely we would recommend orthotics before you go out on big long hikes, and or some kind of a supplement recommended by the doctor. But what other kind of advice for types of boots, hiking boots? A guy like me that runs the mountains instead of hiking them. What kind of recommendations would you give?
Well, we'll start with the kinds of shoes and then how you get them fitted. It depends on whether or not you're going to do an hour for exercise or if you're going to be hiking for several hours with a backpack on. The longer and heavier the experience, the more sturdiness you need in the shoe. So someone who's going to run for an hour and a half on the hills need a shoe that is a low top, most likely, relatively flexible, but has a gripping sole so you don't slip on those rocky trails.
I did consider that last night. In the dark while I was running down, I thought, oh no, I could blow out a knee, an ankle, or anything as I'm running downhill. I came down fine. I was very grateful.
It can be treacherous.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the longer the hike and the tougher it's going to be and the more load you're going to carry, you might consider a mid-top or a mid-level shoe with a little more support to protect the ankle. And if you're going to be on a long backpacking trip, you definitely need one of the high top boots that will have a much stiffer sole and a steel shank in there that doesn't allow it to bend as much. And in all cases, they need to be properly fitted. So folks, when they go to the store to buy hiking boots, or for that matter any kind of shoe, need to shop at the end of the day. Their feet may be a little more swollen from the accumulation of fluid from standing or walking or sitting during the day. And there should be a little space at the end of the boot for more on his toe. It doesn't, 5/8 of an inch or thumbnail width is fine. And the folks should try them on in the store, and if they're not immediately comfortable, don't expect that you'll break them in sufficiently to make them comfortable down the road. Shouldn't be embarrassing to literally run through the store if you're buying running shoes, or walk around vigorously with your hiking boots as you're trying out those things. You want to make sure that they're comfortable from the get-go.
Yeah, I remember when I was in 7th grade, I bought a pair of shoes that my mom thought I would just break in later, and I lost both toenails, both big toenails. Turned black and fell off.
Well, you can lose at either end. If they're too short, it will immediately impinge on the nail, but if it's too long, you'll slide into the end of the shoe as you're on the downhill and bang that nail into the shoe. So both can cause black toenails.
I actually lost them again when I ran the Awatuki Mountains there for a long time, and they turned black and fell off, and I kept on running and they fell off. I just love running those mountains, but luckily I did. I consulted my podiatrist, and he made some recommendations and got me into shoes now that they don't happen, but that doesn't happen. But I wonder if that happens because it was really
that happens a lot.
Yeah, interesting. Well, that's very, very exciting. Looks like we have 1 minute left. Wait, hold on just a second. I may be looking at the wrong. Oh, we still have 4 minutes. Okay, much better. Okay, so we were teasing, gave a little teaser about the different other aspects of the clinics that you might be able to set appointments for there at Midwestern University. So transitioning a little bit over into that area. If somebody goes to midwesternuniversity.com, is that the correct website? Midwestern EDU.
Midwestern.edu.
Okay.
Or you can Google the Midwestern University.
I'm sure it will come up.
It should come up. But there's a unique service that we provide through our multi-specialty clinic that is pharmacy service. That is, individuals who want to have their medications analyzed, especially older folks who are experiencing polypharmacy, where they're on a lot of different medications. There can be drug-drug interactions that cause complications of their own. So they can have their medication list analyzed and assessed not only as to drug interaction, but also as to dose. So that's a nice service that is available there. We mentioned earlier our clinical psychology folks, and they can provide lots of different kinds of support for folks with mental health issues that may want to explore what can be done to help them. Of course, we have our foot and ankle clinic that we have some
big fan
board-certified podiatrists there who can handle anything below the knee, whether it's trauma or diabetes related, a skin problem, tendonitis, muscle, bone, you name it.
So I wanted to drill in on that a little bit. So sometimes your diabetes can be related to how well your feet are being maintained. Is that correct?
For sure. There are many complications, as your listeners already know, that come from having diabetes. But some of those complications preferentially affect the lower extremity, the most significant being a loss of sensation. The nerves quit functioning properly, and you can't sense when injury occurs. Another significant contributor is a loss of immune function, and so when an opening is created, it's much easier to get an infection and a lot harder to get rid of that infection.
So when your immune system goes down, is that what when you get diabetes, or what actually? It doesn't help on the onset. It's just if you have diabetes, it's really tough.
That's
and
correct.
It takes over your feet.
That's right. Diabetes affects lots of different things, but the causes of diabetes are manifold, and we could get into that if we have the time. Type 1 and type 2 diabetes are distinctly different etiologies. Type 1 being when the body no longer produces insulin to help metabolize the sugar that we take in. And type 2 being when the body, when the insulin that is made by the body is insufficient or isn't as effective as it needs to be to metabolize that sugar. And so the blood sugar levels rise in either case to levels that cause damage in all the different tissues of the body.
So especially if you're diabetic, you want to keep in touch with your good doctor. We hear of so many people that are losing, that lose their feet, and they just make sure that you include that in your whole lineup of services that you want to get from a doctor. So definitely reasons to do that. Well, it looks like it is time to end our show. This is Kurt Wilhelm, the host of the Social Universe here on Voice America World Talk Radio, joined by Dr. Page of Midwestern University. And again, if you want to find out more about the information we've talked about, go to midwestern.edu. And what's a good phone number to call just to be in the show?
623-537-6000.
Wonderful. And don't forget to tune into Ageless Living on our sister health channel, where we're going to be doing a little bit more discussion that's very, very in-depth health related. So we look forward to seeing you on the other side. And again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.